I think that going through your teenage years is a really, really weird time of your life because you're obviously going through changes, and this is not anything crazy, but you really just don't know who you are. I feel like it's a point where you have just no self-confidence, and it really sucks for everybody. So if you don't know me, my name's Liam. I make a video every day talking about what I've learned throughout life so that hopefully it saves you some time. But it's interesting because I'm seeing my sister go through the exact same transformation that I went through, and basically at the same age. So for context, when I was in middle school, I lived in Japan for 7th, 8th, and ninth grade. And I feel like that's where it was difficult for me. And really the biggest problem was I had no confidence in myself. And people can really smell that on you. And when you're in middle school, people will capitalize on it. And it only kind of exacerbated itself as I got into sophomore year. And so what it looked like was, number one of the problems was that I had acne. So I was so self-conscious about acne. I had it worse than most kids, and it just got in my head, and I hated it. And then it would cause me to just be a little baby and never stick up for myself and feel like a victim. So that continued, and I had a lot of friends just kind of push me around. Then I did find a very good group of friends, but still, since I was weak-minded, I was kind of taken advantage of, quote unquote, not in a weird way, but they would, I would be the one that would be made fun of for a while. And then when I moved back to America, the acne was at its worst. And then I realized, oh shoot, I have gaps in my teeth. I'm weird. And then I was posting weird videos on TikTok and moving into a new school. All these things made up for a really, really weird experience. And I hated myself. But luckily, I got Invisalign, and then I got on Accutane, and it cleared my skin and fixed my teeth. So I still think those were good upgrades. I'm glad I did both of those things. But at the same time, I suffered for no reason for a long time. I just did not need to be worried about those kinds of things. And it's so funny because I'm seeing my sister just really do the same stuff. She is just turning into the most basic bee. And she's just, she's a pain. You know how it is when she's just going to be a sophomore in high school. I guess girls are just a pain at that time. I think it's probably something she'll grow out of, but the just deep insecurity is very apparent. She said that she practices her smile, bro. And it's so weird. The smile is so fake. And then when she hangs out with her friends, she does not act like herself. But the thing is, I think it's a period that you must go through to realize how artificial so many people are. So many people are so fake, and puberty shows you that. Because only can you see it in hindsight, but when you do look back and notice how fake everybody was, you get a feel for what real relationships feel like, because you know what the fake ones felt like. It's the same thing. A lot of times with bad relationships, you learn more than you did with the good ones, or you learn more from bad teachers than you do with the good ones. So obviously any bad time in your life was probably the most growth packed as well. So puberty is the same way. But I think there's so much needless suffering, and I wish I just didn't care. Quite literally, I think the only thing is there is just so much suffering during puberty that I think everyone goes through, but you do not need to be suffering. And I think so many people continue that and carry that with them. Maybe not in the same amount, but in some capacity, people carry with them that deep insecurity. And a lot of it comes from not having a passion or a purpose. If you have something that you feel like you're meant to do, then going in social settings doesn't particularly irk you in any certain way. But if you, number one, going to the gym will make you a 10 times happier. That's the step one. But maybe go to a club. Maybe work on some project. Maybe it's you like making music. Maybe you like writing. Whatever that is, do that. Because I feel like having such a strong purpose that you feel propelled towards really eradicates most of that negativity in social settings, or it makes it such that you don't even feel like you need social settings. You feel like, hey, it's Friday night, I'm going to stay home and work on my music because I want to become an artist, or I'm going to stay home and work on my business, or I'm going to go to the gym, whatever it may look like. You realize that most of the things people do in social settings with big groups, it's just artificial. For most of these situations, if you remove the alcohol variable, most of these people would not be hanging out with each other. You hang out with different people because you're under the influence than when you would if you were completely sober. And that makes that relationship fake, which I think is stupid. I think it's not real. Neither is the state of mind that you're in. It's influenced by something else. And so you're therefore deeming your natural state of being unreason or undesirable, which you have to live in that body. So if you drink all the time and you're exposing yourself to the misery of its absence, then all you're going to look forward to is the time you get to drink. And then every other instance in your life is going to be below that. Why would you want that? Why would you not want to just enjoy every single thing that you do? Because that's available. Again, happiness is a skill. I've got a lot of videos on that. But the main video topic was just puberty and insecurity. It's not something you can help someone out of, really. It's really not. And that goes for a lot of things. There's a saying, don't try and teach a pig to sing, because it won't work and it'll upset the pig. The only thing that really invokes change is when someone suffers enough to want to pay the price for it. Sorry, I'm in a Discord right now, but honestly, that's really all I've got to say for this one. I hope you enjoy. We're on the road to 10K, dude. And it's so funny because when I started the YouTube, there was nothing for 5 months. Then I had a lot of growth and then it slowed down. And this is exactly how I know that the YouTube channel is going to work, because this is the period of time where the YouTube algorithm is trying to weed out the weaklings. So I'm making it happen. One daily upload at a time. Peace. Gotta get a thumbnail. That's a good one.